that $85,000 luxury SUV with the subscription-based heated seats. It'll be a money pit the day the warranty expires. Meanwhile, a 2015 Lexus GX 460 with 180,000 miles just passed inspection without a single flag, and it's worth more today than 3 years ago. Modern luxury SUVs are built to dazzle you through a lease, then fall apart once coverage ends. These 12 were built differently. Everyone verified with JD Power scores, Consumer Reports data, RepairPal costs, and iSeeCars longevity analysis. We're starting solid and climbing to the most indestructible luxury SUV ever measured. Let's count up. Number 12, Audi Q3 2019 to 2025. Let's start with the entry that'll surprise every German car skeptic in the comments, the 2019 to 2025 Audi Q3. It earns a JD Power reliability score of 86 out of 100, and here's why that number matters. The engine underneath is the EA8 8.8 turbocharged 4-cylinder, one of the most mass-produced and obsessively refined engine platforms in the entire Volkswagen Group. We're talking about an engine family that Volkswagen has been iteratively improving across millions of vehicles for over a decade. What makes the Q3 specifically brilliant after warranty is what it doesn't have. No air suspension to collapse at 80,000 miles. No multi-screen infotainment architecture to glitch into a $4,000 replacement, while your neighbor's loaded GLE is racking up $2,500 visits for electronic suspension calibration. The Q3 is rolling along on conventional springs that cost $200 to replace. CarEdge estimates the 10-year maintenance cost at roughly $12,956, significantly below what comparable BMW and Mercedes SUVs accumulate over the same window. The driving experience is pure Audi, tight, composed, quiet on the highway, with a cabin that still feels like it was assembled by someone who actually cared at 100,000 miles. You can find clean used examples for $22,000 to $30,000 right now, which is used Camry money for a genuine Audi with Quattro all-wheel drive and premium leather. The market sleeps on this car because it's small and doesn't have the Q7's road presence. That's badge snobbery, working in your favor. The exact same engineering minus the showroom tax. But if an affordable Audi impressed you, wait until you hear what BMW did with an inline six that mechanics are calling one of the finest engines ever fitted to any SUV. Number 11, BMW X5 2019 to 2025. The 2019 to 2025 BMW X5 earns a JD Power reliability score of 81 out of 100. And before you roll your eyes at a BMW on a reliability list, listen to what independent mechanics say about one specific engine, the B58 turbocharged inline six in the xDrive 40i. BMW developed the B58 as a clean sheet replacement for the beloved N55, and shops that fix BMWs for a living have called it the most reliable engine BMW has produced in 20 years. Now, here's the honest part, because this list doesn't sugarcoat. Owning a BMW after warranty is not cheap. CarEdge estimates the X5's 10-year maintenance cost at approximately $19,460, and certain components, the air suspension, the iDrive system on early G05 models, can generate genuinely painful bills once they age past coverage. But the B58 is why it's here at all. Behind the wheel, the X5 does something Japanese rivals genuinely can't replicate. It makes a 5,000-pound SUV feel like it wants to be driven hard, with steering feedback that actually communicates, and a chassis that stays composed through corners most luxury SUVs would lumber through. You can find clean xDrive 40i examples for $35,000 to $50,000 right now. Avoid the V8, avoid the plug-in hybrid, stick to the inline six, find one with service records, and you've got a post-warranty BMW that actually makes financial sense. A sentence BMW owners have been waiting decades to hear. A reliable BMW inline six is genuinely rare praise. The next SUV carries a different German badge, Raumass, and its owners call it the most reliable Mercedes they've ever driven. Number 10, Mercedes-Benz GLK and GLC 2013 to 2023. Here's a sentence you don't hear often. That's the most reliable Mercedes I've ever owned. But search owner forums for the 2013 to 2023 Mercedes GLK and GLC, and you'll find that exact phrase repeated across dozens of threads, particularly about the 2014 and 2015 GLK models, which earned some of the highest JD Power scores in the brand's recent history. The secret to buying a post-warranty Mercedes that won't bankrupt you is dead simple. Avoid the first model year of any generation and avoid the air suspension. The GLK and GLC on standard springs in second year or later production are a fundamentally different ownership experience from the complex flagships that give Mercedes its reputation for expensive repairs. RepairPal rates the GLC at roughly $908 per year, lower than the BMW X3 and Audi Q5, and dramatically below the GLE or GLS. Behind the wheel, the GLC feels like a smaller S-Class, planted, refined, with doors that close with that signature Mercedes vault thunk that cheaper SUVs can't replicate. Independent specialists will tell you the single most important investment is the 60,000-mile major service. Do it on time, and you prevent the cascading failures that generate the horror story repair bills Mercedes is famous for. You can find excellent GLK examples for $18,000 to $25,000 and clean GLC models for $25,000 to $32,000. Prices that would have been unthinkable 5 years ago for a Mercedes that rides like a bank vault and maintains like a sensible car. The most reliable Mercedes its owners have ever driven. The next SUV isn't German, though it's Korean, costs half as much, and comes with the longest warranty on this entire list. Number 9, Genesis G580, 2021 to 2025. The 2021 to 2025 Genesis G580 is what happens when a manufacturer decides to out-engineer the Germans without charging German prices, and then backs the whole thing with a warranty that makes BMW's coverage look like a polite suggestion. J.D. Power gives the GV80 an 83 out of 100 for reliability. CarEdge estimates the 10-year maintenance cost at just $12,494. That's the same bracket as a mainstream Toyota, not a $55,000 luxury SUV competing against the X5 and GLE. When Hyundai's luxury division poached chief designer Luke Donkerwolke from Bentley and Lamborghini, they weren't playing at luxury. They were building a brand from the blueprint of people who'd already done it at the highest level. The detail that matters most for this list is the warranty. Genesis offers a transferable 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Transferable. A used GV80 purchased at 30,000 miles still carries roughly 70,000 miles of factory powertrain protection, coverage no European rival can match and most don't even attempt. Behind the wheel, the GV80 rides with a composure that feels like old money luxury rather than tech startup flash. Smooth, hushed, with seats that could charge admission at a spa. You can find used examples for $35,000 to $50,000, which is a $75,000 interior wrapped in a $12,000 a decade maintenance bill. The market undervalues these because the badge doesn't carry the same weight at a dinner party. That's badge snobbery, working directly in your favor. A $12,494 decade of maintenance with a 100,000-mile transferable warranty. The next SUV is the GV80's smaller sibling, and it might be the single best value on this entire list. Number 8, Genesis GV70, 2022 to 2025. The 2022 to 2025 Genesis G570 won North American Utility Vehicle of the Year in 2022, beating the BMW X3, the Audi Q5, and the Mercedes GLC in a head-to-head comparison, judged by automotive journalists who drive every luxury SUV on the market for a living. That award doesn't go to vehicles with hidden reliability problems. The same transferable 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty applies, meaning early used GV7s still carry years of factory protection that a comparable X3 lost the moment its 4-year coverage expired. Genesis even covers scheduled maintenance for the first 3 years or 36,000 miles, meaning some early used examples still have complimentary oil changes remaining. Behind the wheel, the GV70 feels like the car Genesis built to shut up the skeptics. Quick enough to embarrass a Q5 at a stoplight, quiet enough to make a GLC feel noisy, and engaging enough that you forget you're driving a Hyundai subsidiary until you check the badge. You can find clean 2022 models for $27,000 to $39,000, less than a new Honda CR-V Touring for a luxury SUV that beat everything German in its class. The market sleeps on Genesis because the brand is 10 years old. Smart buyers know that's exactly when the deals are best. The GV70 swept its award because it offered sharper dynamics, a better interior, and a longer warranty than every European competitor in the same test. North American Utility Vehicle of the Year for under $30,000 used. The next SUV costs 3 times as much and was built during the era when its manufacturer ranked second in the world for dependability. Number 7, Porsche Cayenne 2011 to 2018. Here's a fact that shocks everyone who hears it. During the 2011 to 2018 production window, Porsche ranked second in J.D. Power's vehicle dependability study, directly behind Lexus and ahead of every other luxury manufacturer on the planet, not just in sports cars, across their entire lineup. When Porsche developed the second-generation Cayenne, the company was in the middle of an obsessive quality push that eventually earned those rankings, applying the same tolerances and testing standards they used on 911s to a family SUV. The key to buying a post-warranty Cayenne successfully is engine selection, and this is where most buyers go wrong. The naturally aspirated V6 and V8 models carry considerably lower long-term risk than the turbo variants, which add expensive complexity without proportional gains in durability. CarEdge estimates the Cayenne's 10-year maintenance cost at $18,097, higher than Japanese alternatives but dramatically lower than Range Rover at the same tier. Behind the wheel, a well-maintained Cayenne from this era still embarrasses modern SUVs costing twice as much. The steering is direct, the chassis is balanced, and at highway speed it feels like the road is afraid of it rather than the other way around. You can find well-maintained examples for $20,000 to $40,000 right now. That's a Porsche Cayenne for less than a new Hyundai Tucson, a Porsche built during the brand's most reliable era for Hyundai Tucson money. The next SUV is the Cayenne's smaller sibling, and Consumer Reports just tied it with the Mazda CX-5 as the most reliable small SUV in America. Number 6, Porsche Macan 2015 to 2024. A Porsche tied with a Mazda for the most reliable small SUV in America. That's not a typo. Consumer Reports' 2026 rankings place the Porsche Macan alongside the Mazda CX-5 at the very top of the small SUV reliability charts, ahead of every Japanese economy crossover, every German competitor, and every other luxury brand in the segment. Porsche achieved this not by reinventing the wheel, but by doing something most luxury brands consider beneath them: building conservatively, testing obsessively, and resisting the urge to add complexity for its own sake. The platform underneath is shared with the Audi Q5, one of the most widely produced luxury crossovers in the world, meaning core components, replacement parts, and mechanic familiarity are all dramatically better than the Porsche badge suggests. RepairPal pegs Porsche's average annual repair cost at $1,192, which sounds steep until you realize the Macan's repair frequency and severity are both below the brand average. You're paying Porsche prices on the rare occasions something breaks, but those occasions are genuinely rare. Behind the wheel, the Macan earns its badge. This isn't a soft crossover pretending to be sporty. It's a genuinely engaging driver's SUV that handles like something half its weight and makes grocery runs feel like a Nürburgring warm-up lap. You can find clean 2017 to 2021 examples for $30,000 to $48,000 right now, tied with a Mazda, wearing a Porsche badge. The next SUV is Japanese, has 3 rows, and carries an engine that's been documented past 500,000 miles on original internals. Number 5, Acura MDX 2014 to 2020. The 2014 to 2020 Acura MDX is what happens when Honda builds a luxury 3-row SUV and forgets to add the luxury repair bills. The engine underneath, Honda's J-Series 3.5-liter V6, is a naturally aspirated power plant that Honda first introduced in 1996 and has been obsessively refining ever since, creating one of the most proven V6 architectures in automotive history. Independent mechanics have documented J-Series engines reaching 300,000 miles on nothing more than oil changes and timing belt replacements, and verified forum examples have pushed past 500,000 miles on original internals, engineering so conservative it borders on paranoia. CarEdge estimates the MDX's 10-year maintenance cost at approximately $10,748, making it one of the cheapest luxury 3-row SUVs to own long-term in the entire segment. Super handling all-wheel drive adds genuine cornering capability without the air suspension, adaptive dampers, or torque vectoring complexity that European rivals use to achieve similar results and then charge you $3,000 to repair when they inevitably fail. Behind the wheel, the MDX feels like a very well-dressed Honda Pilot. And that's a compliment because it means everything works exactly the way you expect it to, every single time, without drama or surprises. You can find clean examples for $22,000 to $35,000. That's 3-row luxury with a 500,000-mile engine for the price of a Subaru Outback. The market overlooks the MDX because the Acura badge doesn't carry cocktail party prestige. That's your gain. A Honda engine with 500,000 documented miles in a luxury 3-row. The next SUV is the best-selling luxury SUV in American history, and it costs less to maintain than most economy cars. Number 4, Lexus RX 350, 2013 to 2023. The 2013 to 2023 Lexus RX 350 is the single best-selling luxury SUV in American history, and the reliability data explains exactly why half of America's doctors, lawyers, and real estate agents park one in their driveway. RepairPal estimates the average annual repair cost at just $551, not just below the luxury SUV average of $807, but below the industry average for all vehicles combined. A luxury SUV that costs less to maintain than most economy cars. Let that sink in. The RX shares its TNGA-K platform and 3.5-liter V6 with the Toyota Highlander, Camry, and Avalon, meaning every independent shop in the country has the parts on the shelf and the procedures memorized. Behind the wheel, the RX is the automotive equivalent of a business-class flight. It won't thrill you, it won't surprise you, but it'll deliver you to your destination in supreme comfort every single time without a single thing going wrong. Owners routinely report reaching 250,000 miles on nothing but scheduled oil changes and the occasional brake pad. You can find clean examples for $25,000 to $42,000, which is the most mainstream luxury SUV purchase in America for a reason. It works, it lasts, and it never punishes you for buying it. The only complaint anyone ever levels at the RX is that it's boring. For a post-warranty buyer, boring is the highest compliment a car can earn. Best-selling luxury SUV in America, cheaper to maintain than economy cars. The next one was designed to survive conditions that would destroy everything else on this list. If any of these are on your short list, tell us which one in the comments. And subscribe. We update these lists as new JD Power and Consumer Reports data drops. Number 3, Toyota Land Cruiser, 2008 to 2021. The 2008 to 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser is built on the same body-on-frame architecture that has survived decades of service in mining operations, humanitarian convoys, and actual war zones across every continent on Earth. A resume that no other luxury SUV can submit with a straight face. The 5.7-liter 3UR-FE V8 underneath went through over 800,000 miles of factory durability testing before Toyota allowed it into production. The real-world results matched the testing. Documented Land Cruisers in Australia and Africa have crossed 1 million miles on original engines. iSeeCars data ranks the Land Cruiser among the top 5 longest-lasting vehicles ever measured across all segments. Behind the wheel, it feels like driving a living room that happens to be bolted to a military chassis. Slow to react, supremely comfortable, and absolutely unshakable on any surface you point it at. Used prices run $55,000 to $95,000 and barely depreciate, specifically because the market understands what the engineering underneath is actually worth. The trade-offs are real. Fuel economy is terrible, the infotainment belongs in a museum, and the cabin doesn't match the refinement of its Lexus equivalent. But the Land Cruiser does something no touchscreen can replicate. It starts every single morning, in every climate, without drama, for 15 years running, tested to 800,000 miles, proven across every continent. The next SUV wraps that exact same durability in a Lexus badge and adds the luxury the Land Cruiser deliberately left out. Number 2, Lexus GX460, 2010 to 2023. The 2010 to 2023 Lexus GX46 is what you get when Toyota takes its most proven body-on-frame truck platform, wraps it in leather, adds 3 rows, and charges less per year in maintenance than most people spend on coffee. RepairPal estimates the average annual repair cost at just $770, and the probability of any given repair being a severe or major issue is just 9% compared to 11% for the luxury midsize SUV segment and 12% for all vehicles. The engine, Toyota's 4.6-liter 1UR-FE V8, was developed with the same obsessive Toyota engineering philosophy that prioritizes longevity above everything else. The GX shares its chassis directly with the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, sold internationally. A platform validated across millions of units in conditions ranging from Australian outback dust to Scandinavian winter ice to Middle Eastern desert heat. iSeeCars gives the GX a documented 19.9% chance of reaching 200,000 miles, almost unheard of for a luxury SUV. Behind the wheel, the GX drives like a luxury tank. High seating position, vault-like silence, and the specific kind of confidence that comes from knowing the vehicle underneath you was originally designed to cross deserts, not shopping mall parking lots. You can find clean examples for $25,000 to $55,000. The thirsty V8 getting 15 combined miles per gallon is the only genuine complaint, and for buyers who prioritize decade-long peace of mind, nothing at this price touches the GX. 9% chance of a major repair. An engine rated for 300,000 miles. Only one luxury SUV has ever been measured to outlast it. Number 1. Lexus LX 57 2008 to 2021. The 2008 to 2021 Lexus LX 570 is the most durable luxury SUV ever measured by any reliability study in the world. Not the most durable Lexus, not the most durable SUV, the most durable luxury SUV, period. iSeeCars gives it an 8.5 out of 10 reliability rating with an average lifespan of 187,169 miles and a 41.7% chance of reaching 200,000 miles. The highest percentage for any luxury large SUV in their database of over 300 million vehicles. The engine is Toyota's legendary 3UR-FE 5.7-liter V8, the same unit powering the Land Cruiser 200, the Tundra, and the Sequoia. With over 800,000 miles of factory durability testing and real-world examples crossing 300,000 miles on original internals. RepairPal estimates the annual repair cost at $832, with just a 9% chance of a severe repair, compared to 14% for the segment average. And here's the number that genuinely separates the LX 570 from everything else on this list. Car Complaints has 0 complaints on file for the 2008 through 2016 model years. 0. An entire 8-year production run without a single documented owner complaint severe enough to file. You can find examples for $40,000 to $86,000, and the LX typically sells for less than a comparable Land Cruiser, making it the better value for buyers who want legendary durability wrapped in genuine Lexus luxury. 0 complaints across 8 production years. A 41.7% chance of reaching 200,000 miles. An engine tested to 800,000. That's not just reliability. That's the closest thing to mechanical immortality any luxury SUV has ever achieved. 12 luxury SUVs from an Audi that costs less than a loaded Camry to a Lexus that was engineered to outlast its own owner. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A 2017 Lexus GX 46 with 150,000 miles will still be starting every morning when the 2026 Range Rover parked next to it is awaiting its 3rd air suspension replacement. The best luxury isn't the newest luxury, it's the luxury that's still running when everything else has quit. Which one is on your short list? Tell us in the comments and subscribe. The next list covers the 12 luxury SUVs to avoid after warranty, and the contrast is brutal.